Welcome to the No Spin News, Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. Stand up for your country. God and country. Pardon me? Those are the two big stories that we're going to deal with tonight, and we have the other stuff as well. We begin the Talking Points memo with this bishop in D.C. who tried to humiliate the President of the United States yesterday, Tuesday. This is a really fascinating story. So beginning in 1937, when Franklin Delano Roosevelt was inaugurated on January 20th, the next day, a tradition began where the new administration would go to the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. for a prayer service. And ever since 1937, that has happened, except for COVID, when that was held virtually. Okay. The woman in charge of the National Cathedral is an Episcopal Bishop named Marianne Edgar Buddy. All right, there she is. She is a radical leftist, and there's no question about it. If you read her tweets, I mean, she's as left as they come. Well, that's okay. I mean, we have freedom of religion, we have freedom of speech. If the Episcopals want to put her in charge, I don't have a beef with that. There are a lot of left-wing Catholic priests. Some people believe the Pope is an ardent left-winger. I don't have a problem with those kinds of appointments. But in addition to being a bishop and a cleric, Ms. Buddy is an activist. And she's an activist on two fronts, the gay front and the migrant front. And she doesn't make any, there's no, and you say separation of church and state, you say no taxation on the National Cathedral. Well, Ms. Buddy or Bishop Buddy, whatever she wants to be called, she oversteps that every hour on the hour. That's what she does. And nobody's going to do anything about it. Okay. Enter the Trump administration, the president, the first lady, the vice president, on and on and on and on. Okay, they go there for the prayer service. And here's what the bishop said. Roll it.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
And that's true. But that evades the central point. It does not seem to me that the Episcopal bishop wants the law obeyed. Am I misreading her? It seems to me that Bishop Buddy wants anarchy. Is that merciful? I'll get into it a little bit more. But first, let me give you Donald Trump's response. Now, obviously, he's not going to be happy about this, but he should have known what he was walking into, because the Pope Francis, continually says the same thing. That we have to have compassion for the poor, the migrants, and you can't punish them. 100% of the time, that's what Pope Francis says, and I'm sure that's what Bishop Buddy says. So Donald Trump should have known that's where he was walking in. I wouldn't have gone to that prayer service if I were the president. I would have said, look, he's going to try to denigrate me. It's not a hard analysis. So I would have gone somewhere else. Okay. Here's what the president replied on social media. She brought a church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. She was nasty in tone, not compelling or smart. She failed to mention a large number of illegal migrants that come into the country and kill people. Okay, that's true. She didn't mention them. And that's where the mercy aspect comes in. So I'm a Catholic, you know that, and I understand my theology very well. I wrote Killing Jesus, not a religious book, but I've had, let's see, 16 years of Catholic education. I get it. I know what it is. And the command in the New Testament, which Christians follow, is be merciful, okay, and help the poor. And that's what Bishop Buddy, Pope Francis, that's what they try to do. And that's the right thing to do. But it's not the exclusive thing to do. Because you are not being merciful, Bishop, and I'm directing my comments to you, madam, by failing to obey the law. You are putting people at risk. You are hurting people. The family of Lake and Reilly will never get over it. The family of Kate Steinle will never get over it. And I could name 5,000 other families at least because of anarchy, because the Biden administration would not obey federal law. And you cheered the Biden administration on, didn't you, madam? You cheered it on. That's irresponsible. That's not rendering to Caesar. You want the laws passed about migration in this country? Good. You petition Congress for a change. And I'll back you up. If I think a new law is good for this country, I will support you. But don't give me a one-way street here on the theology. Now, for Pope Francis, it's different because he's in the liberation theology movement. You have to understand where he comes from. He was almost killed by Galtieri and the fascists in Argentina. Literally killed. He knows that the oligarchy, to quote Bernie Sanders, in South America and Central America, has persecuted poor people for hundreds of years. Pope knows that. And he knows that most migrants, as the bishop pointed out, are good people. They're just trying to improve their lives. But you don't throw out laws that protect the citizenry in the name of mercy. You pass better laws, more fair laws, and you don't try to humiliate the President of the United States. I can't cast a stone, but if I did that, I'd have to go to confession. I would. Because she knew she was going to do that, this Bishop Buddy. She knew she was going to humiliate him, and she did it anyway. Okay. I think that's a fair analysis. If you don't, I'd love to hear from you. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com, Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. All right, J6 pardons, big controversy, and the president has not explained why he pardoned 170 individuals who attacked police. You got to do that. Now, you can support President Trump and not agree with everything he does. In fact, the only people who agree with everything any politician does are zombies or zealots. Okay, that's it. So here, I'm president, no violent people are getting pardons. I would look at their case. There's a guy named Leonard Pelletier, a Native American, who's been in jail in confinement for 50 years. All right, in the death of FBI agents, might know the case. I'd look at it. 50 years is a long time. He's at the end of his life. So there's a compassion there. But let's get just back. There's a Reuters poll out on pardoning violent people. 58% of the respondents to Reuters say no. They oppose pardons for individuals convicted of top-tier offenses during January 6th. Now, if you're just caught up and you're a moron and you were just there and, I wrote the message of the day. Please read it on BillO'Reilly.com. You don't have to be a member. Just go and read it. And I tell you what federal prosecutors did to these people. And it was wrong. And Trump was right in pardoning some of those people, perhaps most. Okay. Biden pardons. So we went over this yesterday, but what you have here is whataboutism, and that's not what we do. So the people trying to defend Trump are going, well, look at Biden, he tried 2,500 drug criminals. Yeah, he did. So what? That's different than J6. And then he pardoned his family members, which is embarrassing to his family members if they didn't do anything, right? Last year, investors scored the highest profits in decades. Unfortunately, the rest of us were held back by stacks of bills and credit card debt. Well, Done with Debt has found a solution. They created a brilliant new strategy designed to tackle debt, put cash back into your hands so you can finally save, invest, and live your life in comfort. Done with Debt goes head to head with credit card and loan companies. Their team of negotiators and legal experts work to significantly reduce your bills, eliminate interest, and erase penalties. Bottom line, Done with Debt helps turn crushing debt into financial freedom. But some of their strategies are time sensitive, so please don't wait. Get the life you deserve. Visit donewithdebt.com. Talk with one of their strategists, absolutely free. Visit donewithdebt.com, donewithdebt.com. All right, so my YouTube, my latest YouTube commentary, youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly, has more than 2 million views, I'm told. It's on Ocasio-Cortez. You might check that out. And tomorrow we'll have a new one. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, but it's going to be provocative, because that's what we use the channel for. Just straight one subject, boom. And I hope you sign up. It is free. The Mail. Jillian, concierge member. Jillian has a direct access to me. My team will help Jillian if she gets into trouble. Bill, so happy to see the January 6th pardons. These people have been through enough. Even the violent people, Jillian? Alice, I appreciated your clarification of the January 6th attack, O'Reilly, the imprisonments, etc. But I'm still not fully clear why some people were actually thrown in jail, because they committed crimes. And in some cases, they were flight risks. And in other cases, they couldn't make the bail. When you commit a crime in this country, Jillian, you're in trouble. So keep that in mind. That's Alice, I'm sorry. Ron Forstner, Cedar Hills, Utah. I agree with your assessment, O'Reilly, of the pardons, and I would not let the violent ones out either. I do believe we have a right to know about the January 6th committee and what really happened there. So do I. Especially if anybody on that January 6th committee that tried every way possible to hang Donald Trump, figuratively, destroyed evidence. You've got to take a hard look at that. I hope Pam Bondi is up for it. Kevin McDaniel, Las Vegas, your coverage and analysis of the pardons by Trump and Biden was fair. Good. However, there remains at least one answered question. Did the FBI have insiders on the ground at the Capitol? Yes, they did. They had informers in the crowd gathering evidence, as any federal agency would. I don't know exactly what they did, but you got to have undercover agents in, see what's going on. Bruce Rhodes, Tampa, Florida. I always love when you have Bernie Goldberg on your program. Oh, he's going to really be happy to hear that. He voiced my thoughts exactly when he talked about the president's speech, the inauguration address. Trump should have been more respectful of the outgoing president. Opinions divided on this. Kevin on the message board, it was unprofessional and rude to the office of the presidency. President Trump should have stated his vision and goals and left discussing Biden's failures to another time. All right, so that's one side. Here's the other side. William, concierge member, I agree that all respect has been lost in politics. I cannot blame President Trump, however, for doing what he did, considering what he has been put through. Okay. Donna Hively, Fort Mill, South Carolina. It may not have been exactly the proper time to stick it to Biden at the inauguration, but I loved it. But was it good for the country? That's the question we all have to ask. Okay, we have an inauguration special. United States of Trump, if you care about Trump at all, hate him, love him, whatever. Want to read that book. And then if you buy it from us, we'll throw in a mug for you. No spin mug. Great deal. So we're trying to get stuff up and running. I did order the not woke hats. So we'll have them in about 2 weeks. And they're pretty nifty. It'll be interesting to see how they sell. Because that's a message you're carrying on your head. I'd wear it, but maybe some people will be shy. Word of the day, do not be a pettifogger. Pettifogger. Are you a pettifogger? A lot of people are these days. All right, final thought on the bitterness emerging from the far left. As you know, the world is a dangerous place. Pandemics, political chaos, natural disasters. You know it's coming. And when it does, you don't want to get caught unprepared. So you need to think about All Family Pharmacy. They provide life-saving and maintenance medications, antibiotics, and more. And yes, they've got the miracle drug everyone's been talking about, ivermectin, starting at just $3 a capsule. Here is the truth. When the system collapses and shortages happen, the unprepared suffer. Do not be one of them. All Family Pharmacy makes it fast and easy to stock up on all your meds. Here's the deal. Go to allfamilypharma.com/Bill right now. Use the code BILL10 for 10% off your order. Again, allfamilypharma, one word, .com/Bill. Use code BILL10. President Trump's victory is a win for America. That's what most voters think. But Bidenomics has left us with a failing economy. I rely on American Hartford Gold to protect my savings with physical gold and silver, and you should consider that. American Hartford Gold has thousands of five-star ratings and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau. A tax-advantaged gold IRA can shield you from worsening inflation. You can even roll over your 401k or IRA tax-free and penalty-free. So act now before it's too late. Call or text American Hartford Gold. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you for up to $15,000 of free silver on qualifying orders. Call 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. That's 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Okay, here's the final thought of the day. I knew that because I have friends who hate Trump. They hate him. There's nothing that he can do that they're going to like. And I kind of avoid any discussion there because once it reaches that point, there's no rationality. So I talk sports or something else. And, I don't have to talk politics. I talk politics for a living. I don't have to do it in my private time. But I knew that the first thing that Trump did to torque off the left was going to just drive these people into hysterics. And Trump knew it too, and that's why he did the J6 pardons the way he did it. He wanted them. He wanted them to go nuts, and they did. They did. You can see it all over the place. Now, does it matter to you and me? Symbolically, it does. You don't want to give violent people pardons. But in reality, it doesn't. This will go away pretty fast. And then immigration and the economy. Secondly, Ukraine, Gaza, and then woke. Those are the five. In the next 6 months, that's what Trump will be. You're not going to hear a lot of J6 stuff. Unless there are investigations launched into various aspects of that day. I don't expect that to happen. I think the Justice Department's going to go after the immigration stuff first, the sanctuary city stuff. That's what I think, but Who knows? You should know we're on it. And I have, I think, the best access to the executive branch of any human being in this country. That sounds like bragging, but I can back it up, and you know I can. So I know what's going on. And I'm here to tell you. And that's why you're listening and watching me tonight. Thank you very much for doing that. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.